So I'm about to make coffee and I want to show you what's right outside the kitchen window. When I say we're at the water, I do mean we are at the water. See those waves rolling in? This is right out our kitchen window here. Yep, so this is our little old house right here. And this is our kitchen window I was shooting that out of. And there's the water right there. Just right there. You see where those furthest white capping waves are out there? That is where the shoreline used to be. Actually, even further. So if people want to tell me things aren't changing, they're changing fast. So this is our beach here in Nomacan, Tigbawan, Iloilo. On some days, it is a very beautiful beach. There's resorts down through here that will be full during the holidays and special occasions. People swimming, people coming by, jeepney loads out of the city and all, filling it up and filling it full of life, music, laughter, food. But then there's days that the storms come. And when the storms come, damage comes. The laughter's over, the food's over, the music's over. At that point, it's more destruction. So people question, is there really something changing with the climate? Is climate change real? Well, I don't know if it's all real. I'm not a scientist to figure that out. I don't know if it's just patterns of the earth, if these are long cycles, short cycles that just happen and take place. I don't have those answers. But I know immediately at this point in time, something has changed. The storms seem to be getting stronger, just like the typhoon Yolanda that came through and did all the damage on the other side of the Philippines back a few years ago. Well, these storms seem to be doing more devastation, more damage. And when I speak that there's damage, the damage is real. And what's happened now is it set a course of erosion here that just seems to progressively get worse. It's kind of like once it broke a certain barrier out here along the shore, now even a mild storm seems to do a lot of damage. Let me show you. Where I'm standing here and where I'm showing down this beach, this all just only a short time ago, over the past few years, and I'm talking about 5 years. This was all full of houses, trees, just life. And the beach was way out there, far out there. Let me see if I can zoom. You see there's a guy out there, you can stand way out there. There's flags out there. The shoreline was hundreds of feet out. You went over a very large sand dune like barrier that was covered with vegetation before you made it up to the homes. These shorelines was just lined with fishing boats and just life in general going on. A happy community, but then things started to change. All of a sudden in one storm, there had to have been 200 feet of shoreline lost. Next storm came in, another 50 feet. The next storm came in and it progressed on, and it has not stopped since. So where you see all this debris, where you see all this destruction, these were families. They may not live in rich homes, but some of them had some pretty good homes. They had concrete slabs and, good metal roofs. But look, this is what's left. This isn't that these people had shanties. This is what's left behind after the destruction. You can see left from septic tanks, concrete pillars buried down in the ground that was from homes, and failed sandbagging attempts that continue on. Trying and trying to sandbag this shore, using even these very large bags now. Everything has tried. You see the fallen coconut trees? This was a beautiful coconut grove. There was hardly a gap in the trees, but now it's all disappearing. This shoreline is what the government had gave them years past to reside at, to live their life. And Mother Nature is taking it away from them. And now, because land has become so valuable here in the Philippines, it's left them without much of a place to go. So when I said there was devastation, all this happened right here that you see now with the last storm that came through just days before we flew here from the United States. But these houses at one time continued way out into this water out here. Far out here. Where I'm showing there now, I've sat and ate food, drank, and had a good time enjoying life. Right there. There was homes there. There was kitchens there. There was restrooms there. And the shoreline was so far away. And you can see where the shoreline was at by right out where the water changes color out there. That's where it dropped down. But it's changed, and I doubt it's ever going to change back, because right out there is a drop off. The water drops from just being 6, 8, 10 foot deep out there, that it drops down to where it's 200 feet, because we dropped nets down it and caught crabs and different fish off deep in there. Once that sand falls off that shelf, there's no coming back. It's done. And that's exactly what's happened, is the sand has dropped off that shelf and it's forever gone. So here, my brother-in-law Miller has been digging down deep during low tide and on calm days, and putting in these concrete pylons. He's been forming out this roll, just rolling this sheet up, reinforced it with steel and with a large footer on the bottom. I honestly don't know if this is going to work. It may be a failed attempt, but they're trying to hold on to what's been home to them for so long. Where are they going to go? Where's the family going to be able to transfer to? Property prices have rose substantially here in the Philippines, comparing to prices of lots of the United States, but without the budget that you have in the United States. Most of these families live on a very small means, or they have a family member working abroad that sends money home to try to support the children, mom and dad, basic utilities, food, clothing, and life. But there's not a budget there to be buying property and building a home. The government's not turning a blind eye on them. The government is building some inland projects in places to transfer some of these people, but then their lives are also changed forever, because the community they had, the people they grew up with, they're all scattered. They're put in amongst strangers in a very hot climate where it's just steel and concrete row buildings. Now, of course, that's better shelter than being left homeless, but even those stay filled up as soon as the government builds them. The government is not turning a blind eye on these people. It's just hard. And some of these people do not want to leave. This is their home. These are their friends. This is their community. This is their pride. This is where they wake up. They fish these waters for survival, to eat. They gather these coconuts and sell. They live off of these coconuts. Just so many things. You would be surprised what kind of a life that they are able to edge out of these waters here and out of this shoreline, that it's just disappearing on them, and it's sad. So when I said that we're coming here to help, I was really serious. I wasn't joking. I'm, I've been giving my brother-in-law the money to put these pylons in. It's his work. He's doing it. I'm kind of hands off on it. But I can't just sit here and watch his house wash away for the third time. He's built 3 homes now. And I know we're not talking about homes, the Western standards, but we're talking about the Philippine standards that they, you know, for his situation here, and built really good. But Mother Nature will have its way. So as you see, this mess is here, as some people may view it, and you may see all this piled up here with our neighbors. This isn't that they're junky people, or this isn't that they like to live in a mess. This is stuff that is washed up and slammed up onto these shores. This is them also piling this debris and trying to bury it into the sand, to hold the sand together, to try to save their homes. Whatever means they can. They'll take these old cement sacks right here and try to fill them full of sand. But when you have that waves pounding on these bags, they don't last long. They burst open and they give way. But I guess trying to do something is better than doing nothing. So of course, my brother-in-law here is fortunate to have a little bit of financing to be able to buy the cement to try to do this. But not everyone's fortunate like that. And that's just the sad reality. I feel sorry for all these people. I feel sorry when I see my brother-in-law out here able to try to you know, put these in, and then he'll put concrete behind it to try to break the waves and stop the erosion of the shore here near his house and our house as well. But the thing is I feel so sorry for the people that are standing next door looking, and there's nothing they can do. They're just helpless at it. They're trying. They try to bury in bamboo down deep, and it helps a little bit. They try to sandbag. It helps a little bit. But the next storm that comes through, it's probably going to take more away. Here on our little beach house, it used to be far enough away from the water and the sea spray that we didn't have much of a salt problem here. We were far enough away from it. But now the shore has came all the way to us. It's ate away our air conditioners. They're gone. There's nothing we can do. You can try to protect them, but it's over with. All that there is doing now is just filling a hole. The same on the next one. Our light fixtures were supposed to be stainless steel, but the salt has still ate them. We have gave up on trying to do any maintenance on this house. It's futile. It is futile. When the beach has come in by several hundred feet, that is a huge change. From several hundred feet to right there. And when a big storm comes in, the waves are all the way up and hitting our kitchen wall here. And this is where they're breaking, right here where these water jugs are, and leaving a pile of sand right here. But what happens next? Is it going to go down to there? Is the water going to penetrate into our home? We have a septic underneath those steps over there. Is it going to penetrate to our septic? These are the problems that we have now. So once again, this is why we're trying to shore up this area even for now. Maybe backfill some of the sand back in and try to buy more time. That's all we can do, is try to buy more time. I know it looks like a mess here. It is a mess here. This stuff is washed up. There's coconut roots exposed everywhere. Trash washes in from the ocean in these waves and slams up on the shore. All kinds of debris. During these storms, water flushes down from the mountains. Trash all the way even from neighboring countries across the ocean. The trash comes across the water and meets this shoreline down through here and washes up on the shore. Some people think that it's only the locals that are maybe throwing the trash. No. Some of this trash has washed from far away, and oddly, even some of the items that wash up are items that were from years ago. Sometimes maybe this trash has been floating out there on the sea for many years before it finally made it to a shore. So this is the harsh reality of it, and something is changing out there. Is it a short cycle? Is it a long cycle? Is it a new cycle? I don't know, but there is a change taking place. All throughout the South Pacific, they're having islands that are disappearing, that are just completely gone, or finally the water levels got up high enough that the waves overtook it, contaminated the whole island with salt, and the erosion began. Because once the foliage died and could no longer hold the ground together, the soil together on top, it took it away. I have avoided to share this. I didn't want to expose the neighbors here, but after talking to them, they said it's okay, you know, they understand, it's life. I don't want to throw their faces on the camera. I want them to still have privacy, so I tried to go out this morning when there's not a lot of people out. But this is the harsh reality. And this is why that even though you see inside our home and it looks good, this is why we are building down the beach here and a little bit more inland, and with retaining walls, because we know this house is going to be lost. We know it's going to fail. Which storm is it going to be? We feel like we are racing the clock. We need to get that done. We need to get all of our personal items out of this house, because nature will take it. It's just a matter of time. So this is the reality of what's happening here, not only on this beach, but beaches all around the world, coastal areas all around the world. This is the reality.